Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and in this video I am going to be talking to you about how taking a break from manifesting your SP can actually be a really beneficial thing and might help it come in faster. Now when I say take a break, I don't mean like a month. I don't even necessarily mean a week. It could just be a weekend. And here is why it is so important. I'm going to share it with you in a somewhat personal story, a personal story that somewhat relates to this, just this realization of when you let go of your manifestation or the routine you have around your manifestation, your focus on your manifestation goal, you can actually see more things being reflected back to you in your reality. So as we know, there is no one to change but self, because your entire reality is a reflection of you. You're a multifaceted being, so of course this is not going to be like, why isn't everyone showing up exactly the same? This is like on a quantum level. There are so many different, I think of it like glitter or like a mirror, like it sparkles and shines all kinds of different lights, all kinds of colors, no matter, if you turn it different ways. So it's a complex thing, but your entire world, your reality, is a reflection of you, one way or the other, whether it's a part of your subconscious, whether it's the worst parts of you or the best parts of you. I've been able to pick out my friends and like tell who is always reflecting back the best pieces of me, even if they're just like a small whisper of hope. And then I can also always tell who's going to reflect back those lingering negative pieces of me. So it can be really fun to like know, okay, if I go talk to this person about this thing, I'm gonna see this part of me, and if I go talk to this person, I'll see this part of me. So it's really fun to kind of play with your reality like that, and especially when we're fixating maybe on a specific person or a specific job or even a specific car. It's like we can just put our blinders on to anything else. There can be a lot of attachment around, well, there probably is a lot of attachment around why we need this one thing and nothing else is going to work. And I think it can come from a lot of fear. Now, as we work through these things and we open up and we let go of these attachments and we just really hold, that knowing and that desire in our hearts, we open up to allow the universe to show us, or ourselves, our higher self, to show us if there's something better suited for us, and allow space for that to come in. But we have to let go. We have to take a step back. So last weekend, I have no idea when this is going to air. Okay, so that doesn't matter. But over the weekend, I was traveling up to see my family. We had a funeral, and I was just traveling like really quick, like the night before and then the morning after I was coming home. So I thought, okay, this is the perfect time. Also, it's like hectic and chaotic, and I'm trying to be present, in this remembrance and be present with my family. So I'm going to take a break from my manifestations. I might still do some self-concept work, but I'm going to stop affirming for these other things. Now, I took the break, and I was there all day Saturday, and I had this one interaction with my sister at dinner, and it kind of like made me go like, what did she just say? And my mom and I even looked at each other and we were like, what? And then, everything was hectic. I was exhausted. I come home the next day. I give myself the rest I need. I took a nap. I was just, laying low. And because I didn't keep trying to push myself into this state of working towards manifesting, I'm just doing a lot of work on myself. So because I wasn't pushing for that, and I was just kind of letting myself be as I am in the moment, I was able to process what happened in the conversation with my sister. And normally, if I was trying to focus and be like, well, I want to be this new version of me, and she wouldn't be bothered by any of these things, so I need to not be bothered. And I can tell that if I had kept pushing that, I would have never seen what happened that my sister showed me. But because I took that step back and I just let it go, and I felt those feelings come up, and I didn't say, hey, we need to be this person that's so full of love and understanding and forgiveness and grace. You shouldn't feel that way. I said, no, I can feel this way. I can feel this. It's okay for me to just feel. How I react is what's important. So I allowed myself to feel, and my sister had just said something that hurt my feelings. And so I worked through, why does it hurt? And I felt like she didn't prioritize me. And then I thought about it more, and I said, no, wait, she still prioritizes me, but I don't feel like I'm the priority. And I had this huge revelation about, I could see it reflected in so many different parts of my past and just everything of me not feeling like a priority when it comes to specific types of relationships, like my more intimate ones, whether it's with a friend, a family member, or a romantic partner. I had this self-sacrificing, it was a scarcity mindset around being a priority, that if people prioritized me, they were somehow being taken from, or I was taking, time from them, and, things that they needed to do were more important than me instead of, it was an unhealthy view. But I would not have seen it to heal it if I hadn't just let go for a minute and let myself focus on what I was feeling in the moment. So I feel like I could get really lost in this one. I feel like I get lost in everything, but with this one, I want to take the focus back to the fact is I let my brain show me the ways that this block was manifesting. And it was not coming through in other ways because of the nature of this block. And so the ways that I was focusing on and not understanding why I wasn't getting these manifestations, it was just kind of in the nature of it. So being able to actually take that step back and look at what was showing up for me and not focusing on, I guess, the lack. I didn't want to say lack because I didn't feel that I was focusing on lack, but focusing on the visualization of the lack of the thing that I'm manifesting. I don't know if this is making sense. Basically, I let my brain take a break from staring at a blank wall, and I turned around and I looked at what was actually in the room, what clues there were going on around me, other ways that this block was actually showing up in a way I could recognize and feel, because I really could feel it in my body. When I processed this interaction, and I honored my feelings, and I, told my sister, hey, just when you said this, it made me feel this way. And it wasn't anything, accusatory. I didn't need anything from her because I know deep down that I am the priority. She was literally just reflecting back to me the fact that I don't feel that I'm the priority. That I know I'm the priority, but I don't feel like the priority. It's confusing. So if you ever have I didn't know that you could have that. But when it comes to relationships, we put them in different categories. Like I said, this only shows up when people get close to me in a very specific way. And it's really fascinating how we can be like, oh, okay, this person's close enough to me, or, I have enough love for them, that this switch is now flipped. And, I have to treat them a different way, or I have to be treated a different way. And I'm sure it comes from, our childhood relationships. So it's an interesting thing to see that, this wasn't really going to show up with other people. It can only show up with a certain category of people that are close to me in a certain way. But then, it doesn't show up with some of them because I've healed that mindset without even realizing that that's what I was doing. I have one final example before I wrap this up. So one thing that I like to do is say to the universe, or my higher self, my God self, my creator self, that if there is any more work to be done, please show me, what blocks I need to heal, what work I need to do, because I don't want to get into a habit, and I don't want any of you to get into a habit of feeling like you always have to be doing something. You know when you need to. But like for me personally, I've been doing a lot of really intense work over the past year. And so now that I'm kind of in a more neutral space, a more settled space, I'm like, shouldn't I be doing something? So I'm practicing not like tearing at myself all the time, and just allowing things to come to me and asking them to come to me and be revealed if they need to. And I just relax until those things show up. So again, another way that when you sort of just like let go, detach, and go with the flow of life, these things will come in for you naturally and reveal themselves. I just had a conversation with a friend. Like I had my car in for servicing and I was really bored, and I wanted to like scroll on social media, but I couldn't get enough service for that, but I could get enough to like message a friend. And I just indulged this conversation that I normally probably wouldn't have, 'cause it's a casual friendship and I value my alone time. But I decided to indulge it. And in that conversation, they misunderstood something I was saying about what's going on in my life right now. And they ended up giving me insight into a fear that I had that I could work through real quickly. Just a little one that I just needed to feel comfortable with. And I think I'm going to make a whole video on it. But yeah, I think I've talked about this before. When you let go of the idea of how your process needs to look, it's going to come in better. I've had this multiple times where I've had conversations with people that I thought would not be productive at all towards my manifestation, because they were just like normal conversations that sparked, and they ended up revealing so much like profound insight to me. And the person didn't mean to. Sometimes, we both acknowledge that, wow, what we just talked about was really profound for our healing. But like this friend the other day, just a very casual conversation, but it showed me so much, and it gave me this aha moment. It put these pieces together that this person pointed something out, and I realized that every time I have done what they were advising me to do, just mentally, it had moved my manifestation into my reality faster. And that's why I'm probably going to make a video on it. So try and really find that balance. Oh, I said I wasn't going to say try this year. So practice finding a balance between having a good routine for affirmations or for, your manifestation goals and, working towards them, but also really give your brain a break from focusing. And I know it's so hard when you're focused on a specific person and you really have a lot of love for them and you want them back in your life, or you want, this next thing with them. Just give your brain a break, because when we focus our brain, and it's literally like if there was something important that needed to be seen off the side of the screen and I needed to turn my head to look at it, but I kept going like this. Like every time your brain is trying to show you the thing that's going to help give you a breakthrough, give you, insight, help you with the next step on your bridge of incidents to your manifestation, you're like, no, I have to stay focused. So learn when you need to stay focused. Obviously you don't want to entertain negative cycles, but don't hyperfixate on something so much that you're not giving your brain a chance to show you the other ways that your reality is reflecting that same wound. Because when we focus on a specific person, we focus on our wounds as it relates to that romantic relationship, and that wound is reflecting in other ways, I promise you. And you don't need to heal it with the specific person as your goal to have it affect that, right? Because it doesn't matter. As long as you heal it, it's going to affect everything that it was affecting. Every reflection of it is now going to adjust to your new healed self. So on that, I'm going to wrap it up and say thank you so much for watching and listening to me. If you have anything you would like to share with me in the comments, please feel free to do so. I love hearing from you. Anything you'd like me to talk about, please let me know. I am happy to do requests. And if you'd like to work one-on-one with me, my link is down below, thealexandrarose.com. I think think that's it. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. You know, it helps me out, helps me reach all those people that can benefit from the insight that I happen to have when it comes to manifesting and, you know, getting through life and creating just such a more beautiful, peaceful experience for ourselves and those around us. So thank you again for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video.